A channel in which the cross-sectional shape and size and also the bottom slope are constant is termed as a prismatic channel. Most of the man-made artificial channels are prismatic channels over long stretches. The rectangle, trapezoid, triangle, and circle are some of the commonly used shapes in man-made channels. All natural channels generally have varying cross-sections and consequently are non-prismatic. On the basis of the nature of the boundary, open channels can be broadly classified into two types: I, rigid channels, and II, mobile boundary channels. Rigid channels are those in which the boundary is not deformable in the sense that the shape, planiform, and roughness magnitudes are not functions of the flow parameters. Typical examples include lined canals, sewers, and non-erodible unlined canal. The boundary of the channel is mobile in such cases, and the flow carries considerable amounts of sediment through suspension and in contact with the bed. Such channels are classified as mobile boundary channels. The resistance to flow, quantity of sediment transported, channel geometry, and planiform all depend on the interaction of the flow with the channel boundaries. If the change of depth in a varied flow is gradual so that the curvature of streamlines is not excessive, such a flow is said to be a gradually varied flow, GVF. Frictional resistance plays an important role in these flows. The backing up of water in a stream due to a dam or drooping of the water surface due to a sudden drop in a canal bed are examples of steady GVF. The passage of a flood wave in a river is a case of unsteady GVF. If the curvature in a varied flow is large and the depth changes appreciably over short lengths, such a phenomenon is termed as rapidly varied flow, RVF. The frictional resistance is relatively insignificant in such cases, and it is usual to regard RVF as a local phenomenon. A hydraulic jump occurring below a spillway or a sluice gate is an example of steady RVF. A surge is moving up a canal, and a bore traveling up a river are examples of unsteady RVF. In steady varied flow, the discharge is constant at all sections. However, if some flow is added to or abstracted from the system, the result in varied flow is known as a spatially varied flow, SVF. SVF can be steady or unsteady. The flow over a side weir is an example of steady SVF. The production of surface runoff due to rainfall, known as overland flow, is a typical example of unsteady SVF.